Hello everyone, and welcome to this month's episode of What's for Dinner. Today's recipe is a classic with a twist. Pulled pork sliders with kimchi. Let's get cooking. Alright, so the first thing that we got to do is get a tablespoon of olive oil into a saucepan and let that heat up. So that's what we're doing right now. Once that oil starts to shimmer, we're going to go ahead and add in a 1 pound pork shoulder or pork butt. I don't know what the appropriate term is for it. We'll put that in, and then we're going to add a teaspoon each of smoked paprika, garlic powder, and onion powder. Now, the recipe doesn't necessarily say to add the spices before the meat or the meat before the spices. So I'm going to add the spices first and then the meat, because you want to coat the meat in the spices. And then basically you want to cook it till it's fragrant, just about 2 minutes, and then you're going to add in the next set of ingredients. Okay, it said once the oil is shimmering. It looks to be shimmering, so I'm going to go ahead and put my spices in first. And get my tongs here and lift up our pork. Just kind of let that coat that in all the oil, paprika, onion, and garlic powder. Alright, we're going to let that cook for a little bit, and I'll be back in a moment to add the next set of ingredients. Alright, it's been about 2 minutes now. Now we're going to go ahead and add in a tablespoon of packed light brown sugar and Dijon mustard. The only kind of Dijon mustard I have is this golden spicy brown, so I'm just going to use that. Actually, wait, do we have some Grey Poupon in here? Oh wait, we do. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do this instead. Aaron likes this Grey Poupon, so I think we'll use this. Alrighty. Brown sugar. Just go in here gently with that. Tablespoon of that. Now you want to coat it in those two. Just kind of stir the roast around. You get it, everything covered. Give that a few minutes, and then we'll be back to add in the next set of ingredients. Alright, the last set of ingredients you want to add are 2 cups of a lager beer and then a ½ cup of roughly chopped kimchi. Now I just have 1 bottle of beer here. I think that's going to be plenty for this. I hope it's going to be plenty for this. Now, as we've known in the past working with alcohol, sometimes things tend to get a little smoky. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my vent fan on here. I'm going to carefully add in the beer. You want to bring that liquid to a boil. Here's the kimchi. For those of you who don't know, kimchi is just pickled cabbage that's been roughly chopped. It actually reminds me a little bit of this dinner that my grandmother used to make called haluki. Alright, so you want to bring this beer to a boil. And then once it boils, you're going to reduce the heat to low. We're going to cover this and let it simmer for an hour. Okay, believe it or not, that didn't create as much steam as I was expecting it to, so that's pretty good. Okay, once this starts boiling, we'll reduce it to low and then cover it, and we're going to simmer it for an hour. Alright, the liquid is now boiling. Here's the lid. We're going to go ahead and take this, reduce this to low. I'm not going to go all the way down to low. I'm going to go right in between low and low to medium. We're going to put the lid on. Set our timer for 1 hour, and we'll be back in an hour to finish up the recipe. Alright, so it's been an hour. Now what we're going to do is, the recipe technically says, this actually looks really good. The recipe says to remove the roast and then shred it and then put it back in. I'm just going to simplify it and shred it right in the pan itself. The best way to do this is to take 2 forks and just kind of go in here. Shredding at all. Okay, well maybe I will have to take this out. Okay, I will come back when this is shredded and we'll put it back in and try it then. Okay, that was unpleasant, but that's done now. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to turn the heat up really high, and you basically want to cook this till the liquid in here reduces down to a thick sauce. Make sure you get all the meat nice and coat it in the juice. And you also want to leave it uncovered so that this sauce can break down into a much thicker substance than what it is now. It's very, very liquidy. So you basically just want to cook off all of that liquid. And I will be back in about 10 to 15 minutes once this is all reduced down and we can build the sliders. All right, the sauce is just about reduced to the thickness that we're looking for. It's been almost 10 minutes since I started this. The last thing I've done to prepare this is I've taken a package of a dozen Hawaiian sweet rolls and I've cut them in half so you have a top part and a bottom part. We're going to put another cup of kimchi on the bottom. We're then going to stack this beef on top, put some of the sauce on top, and then we're going to top with one thinly sliced mini cucumber before we top it with the rest of the rolls and then we dig in. All right, this sauce is gone pretty much, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the heat. There is no liquid left at all. Everything is gone. I'm going to remove this top half of rolls, and I'm just going to take a little bit. The recipe says you want a cup. I'm just going to take a little bit and just kind of spread it out on this bottom section of the roll. All right. Now we take our pork. I might not use all of this, but I'll make sure to use enough. I also don't have a serving platter, so I'm using just a really, really big plate. I do say it smells very good. Okay, that looks good. There is no sauce left, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Now we're going to take our mini cucumbers. Just kind of place them across the top. We get at the top of the rolls. Top of the rolls, and we place them on top. And now we have pulled pork and kimchi sliders. All right, basically what the recipe says is just go in and pull one out and eat one. So let me turn the heats off. Let me turn the vent fan off here. All right, I'm gonna get another plate and pull one off and then put that on that plate. All right, I got a smaller plate here. Let me, here, I'll do that on camera here. This looks really nice, actually. All right, here, I'm gonna go for this one right here. Just go in and just, I might have to set it down. That kind of worked. All right, let's try it. Let's see here. Ooh, that is surprisingly very good. The cucumber gives it a nice little crunch. That's good. There wasn't a lot of pork in that bite, but okay. And the thing with sliders is you usually have more than one. The recipe does say to serve with lots of napkins. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of What's for Dinner. If you have any recipes you would like me to make on camera, leave them below in comments and I'll check them out. Until next time, take care and God bless. Try another one here. That's good.